get it. Just stick to the script. Tell it like it is.
Bow my head every night with the ones in my house. If it all fails, we gon' have to figure it out. For ourselves, you know what I'm talking about. I know I'm not the only one holding it down. I hope not, oh nah. I refuse to believe it. Be proud of what you got and be cautious when conceited and up the wrong target. If you
Welcome to the gym, baby. Yeah. Um, yeah, this is part two to building your legacy as a coach and trying something different with the cameras today. To see, different well, I only have two different angles right now, just playing around. But like I said, this is part two to building your legacy as a coach, and I think this is a great topic. And once again, this is my perspective from my experiences and what works for me. And I just want to share it, with the world. And once again, shout out to my homeboy for this topic, my homeboy Josh, because I think broke it down into maybe three or maybe four parts of how to build your legacy as a coach. And today I want to touch on the topic of experience and leadership. In order to build your legacy as a coach, you definitely want to have the experience in your field or in your sport, and your experience matters. And for me personally, my experience comes from actually playing the game as an athlete and in college, in high school. I learned a lot of skills, and the, I learned a lot of skills, and I picked up a lot of a lot of leadership skills from modeling from the coaches that I had before that coached me in high school and college. And experience will take you a long way, but you have to learn how to apply some of the skills that you learn. Because if you don't learn those skills, those leadership skills, your experience is null and void. Is pointless. Okay. So my experience comes from, let's just say, as a high school, I was a 3-year starter. I played undersized. I was a right tackle. In a sense, a lot of people believe I overachieved, but in my head, I always felt like, I could play that position at a high level. And I had an opportunity to play Division II football, where I earned a scholarship in high school. And I played 4 years. I played as a true freshman. After the third game, I started pretty much the rest of my career at right guard. I would move around the fullback and tight end, and I wore that number 78. My man Hunter Salts. That's a great number right there. Mikey, go ahead. That's a big Mikey. That's a great number to have. I wore that number in high school and college, and a lot of my experience comes from being undersized and learning learning a lot about technique, and being that, just say at the most I think I came in as a freshman, I played at 243, and I probably gained 17 pounds at the most. At the most I probably played at 260, playing offensive guard, on a Division II level, which is not bad. On a D1 level, it can be outrageous, but day in and day out, or night in and night out, I was outmatched when it came to size. A lot of guys that I would go up against would be 300 pounders, and I had to learn how to use my athleticism as an advantage. So once again, that's my experience, and that experience carried over to coaching. I learned, how all the technical skills, because I needed that. I needed that for my survival as a football player, to earn a scholarship, to play at a high level. I had to be like almost flawless with my technique. So in a sense, I took those skills and I stashed them. I stashed those skills, and being a coach now, and having the opportunity to coach guys who have the size, I can pull out those same skills, those technical skills that I learned as a player from my coaches. So that experience is big, and that game time, that game field experience it's a lot because I notice just in games, those in-game adjustments, you're kind of quick on your feet because you're used to it and you're used to just all the adjustments that you need to make in the game because you experience that. And that is second to none. And I mean, like I said, it's my experience. I'm not trying to knock anybody else that's trying to be a coach. But when you have that on field or on court, or I did track and field as well, when you have that experience and you become a coach, that is second to none. That is like gold, that experience to have. But a lot of people, I don't say it's a lot of people, some people don't know how to communicate those and transfer those skills into their players. And that's where those leadership skills come into play. That's when it comes being a researcher, learning how to be or wanting or modeling yourself. Oh, let me rewind because once again I freestyle my videos, but I am a lifelong learner. Just say that. I research and I study. I research and I study the game. I study movement. I study, of course, training, cross training, leadership, coaches, teams, whatever it takes for me to gain the knowledge in my field, I am willing to do that. So in order to build your legacy, you have to be willing to learn, and your experience matters, and leadership skills. You have to learn leadership skills. You cannot lack confidence. You cannot lack confidence. I'm sorry, and be a coach and lead people. If you lack confidence and you're a coach, you need to quit. I'm sorry, you need to quit and go into some type of self-development program, gain the confidence, and then come back. Because if you don't have the courage or confidence, you're going to let your kids down. You're going to, when crunch time, when things get tough, you're going to let your kids down because that lack of leadership, that lack of courage, that lack of confidence will show up sooner than later. So learn the proper leadership skills, right? And you can have a mentor. It's okay. I have mentors. I have guys that I look up to. I have guys that I model myself after, but I have my own unique style and I embrace that. And then I'm okay with being transparent. As a coach, you have to learn, I guess, in a sense, the give and take and understand that you're not going to know everything. And you have to be willing to humble yourself and partner up with people that might know more than you know. And in a sense, you learn how to gain those skills working with them. And I have a few guys that I want to give a shout out to. Coach Ponce, one of my favorite coaches of all time at App State. Emerson Martin over there at Village Christian. And I'm going to give a shout out to Coach Vassell because I learned so much from him in a short amount of time. You know, just training my kids with him. He's another offensive line coach / offensive coordinator at Knightdale High School here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I had to give him a shout out because I learned so much from him. And I love linking up with people like that. And then another shout out, Brian Peterson. That's a guy that I work with, that I run a performance company with. I learn from him every day. I have to humble myself around him. And I love that, you know, and that's why I keep these people as friends or in my circle. When it comes to Peterson, that's in my circle, Coach Martin, I can always reach out to him whenever I need advice. And he was my offensive line coach in college. And he taught me, and he had the opportunity to play in the pros and play with Joe Montana. So he learned so much, so I pick his brain. So whenever I'm confused about something, whether it is scheme or player or how to manage, because he's really good at building relationships. That's one thing I noticed. That's a skill that I picked up from him. And Coach Ponce as well. We had a great relationship when I was in high school, and I'm forever thankful for him and the great things that he's done for my family, for me, and my cousin Donald Sinat, which I will mention more a little later on a few other videos. But that experience and those leadership skills are two things that are essential to being a coach. And humble yourself. humble yourself and learn as much as possible. Do your research. Do your research. The two guys that I'm doing research on right now are Phil Jackson and Custom Auto. I have a long list of other coaches and teams and players that I researched, but those are the two guys that I'm researching right now to basically enhance my skills and enhance my knowledge on coaching. And I am willing to do whatever it takes to teach my kids and help my kids be successful. And I think that's a great trait to have as a coach, because you want to put your kids first. That's another thing that you can add to the list on building your legacy. Put your kids first, because they'll do anything for you when you're genuine, when you're transparent. And I know that's hard for a lot of people to be transparent and to be like, you know what, I don't think I know this right now. If you have a question, whether you're a teacher or somebody in a higher position, you think you have to know it all. That's not the case. And sometimes you can tell your kids, you know what, we're going to learn together. You know what, this guy's beating you. This guy's in the 3 technique. He's doing this. Let's try this. How about let's try this? Or when you're in the game and the kids have an adjustment, like, hey, coach, this play is open. Be open to it. They're the ones out on the field. Don't be stubborn. That's the worst. Well, that's one trait that you don't want to have as a coach, is to be too stubborn and not open to your players, because they're not going to want to play for you. So building like that, I mentioned in that first video, that building that relationship is really strong, because it'll carry over. It'll carry over. And these leadership skills that you learn will help you kind of hone these skills and help you create the athlete or the program that you want to create, and that's a winning program. We're all in this to win. Nobody's in here to lose. But you have to be willing to humble yourself and be open and learn those leadership skills and learn the qualities that you don't have as a coach. So if you lack confidence, go do some self-development, because it's not going to work, because you need courage and confidence to be a coach, right? And that experience, that on-field, that in-game experience is second to none. Learn how to use it and learn how to apply it to help your athletes become great. So that's all I have. I'm trying to keep my videos a little short, but Jim, out. Yeah.
Choose to oppose, only words of advice, way too light for a blow. Focus, locked in, confidently spoken. Wrote this as I was told to be more open. In due time, in progress, put a ... Prepare for the truth, we hit bogus a lot. Only stopping if I stop it, won't deal with slacking on profit. I ain't desperate for money, so you can keep it 100. Overhead when I project, above your nearest thoughts. Been chasing after progression, and this state is what I call press on, achieve and conquer, but be hungry and bold. The greatest things tend to happen when you're hungry and cold. Go forward, but be patient and aware of the test. Can't nobody hold you back when you're hungry for success. Press on, achieve and conquer, but be hungry and bold. The greatest things tend to happen when you're hungry and cold. Go forward, but be patient and aware of the test. Can't nobody hold you back when you're hungry for success. I'm on it, it can't be measured, the pleasure all mine. I learn, but stay firm in protecting what's mine. My name may ring a bell in any random location. Being hungry for success, save me from starvation. I watched the greatest do it, the proof is there to prove it. I seen the vision clear, so clear, I seen through it. The future around the corner, we taking the right turns. Press on, next stop to conquer, achieving as we learn. Got fluent from a journey, I schedule repetition on purpose. For a purpose eventually gets addictive, so I love it and they need it. I just need them to believe it. Some say they really grinding, but are they really eating? What are they really saying? Well, no, it don't matter. This world gets so confused and all I hear is chatter. Distractions are in the flesh, call them issues and problems, but just keep on pushing, overcome them or solve them. Press on, achieve and conquer, but be hungry and bold. The greatest things tend to happen when you're hungry and cold. Go forward, but be patient and aware of the test. Can't nobody hold you back when you're hungry for success. Press on, achieve and conquer, but be hungry and bold. The greatest things tend to happen when you're hungry and cold. Go forward, but be patient and aware of the test. Can't nobody hold you back when you're hungry for success.